What is up, YouTube? This is Eddie Picasso, and these are the Eddie Chronicles. February 1st, 2019. Woo! That is one full month into 2019. Where are you in your goals now? In your resolutions? In your what are you getting done, man? What is it? What is it? Are you making it happen? Are you not? So wonderful month. Started off kind of slow, man, with sinus infection, but I quickly got back in a row. I think it was I don't know, January 10th, something like that, that I started these blogs. So I'm kind of proud of myself that to be able to kept this consistent. Aside from weekends, which I'm completely devoted to my family time on the weekends, I've been pretty consistent on these blogs, which I'm proud of myself. But not only that, like, I'm super grateful that I'm able to do them because so earlier this week, I think it was on, may have been last weekend, I was going through a lot of old videos, a lot of YouTube videos, and I don't know, I think I may have already made them public. I'm not too sure, but oh gosh, like a year and a half ago, I was filming in hotel rooms and stuff like that, and I was posting them on as part of the journey, but I don't think I ever made them live, and then I ran into them, and I was like, oh my god, like, man, I like the progress, or like where I was a year ago, is just interesting to see. It just kind of inspired me to keep on going these vlogs, just because now it's like every step of the way, what was happening at that time, at that point in my life, and now it's like a whole new era, or time of my life right here, this just a year later. And it was super interesting to see that. So yeah, that's I'm gonna leave it at that for as far as that goes. Going to eye vision exam today, eye exam. Yesterday was a wonderful day. I went over to look at a property for a client here in Westlaco. I'm trying to dominate the Westlaco area. I'm starting. The way I see it is, if I can't take control of my neighborhood, then how am I going to take control of any other markets here in the area? So I'm really putting an emphasis on not only just my neighborhood, but the entire Westlaco area. And so yesterday I got a lead for here in Westlaco, and I was looking at a property for my client, so I can do the due diligence to be able to price the property right. And then I was driving by the Nat Medical Center, and I realized that I was driving down the street, I think it's 8th Street, and I noticed the park. I was like, what? Like, I'd been through that street so many times before, and I just now noticed that park. Like, that's awesome. Like, I swear, if you blink, you'll miss that park. And it's Isaac D. Rodriguez Park. Super amazing little park. It's got a little skate park. It's got a kids water park. So it was my recommendation today for Eddie Recommends in the Rio Grande Valley, just because it was super awesome. So I had to stop, man, and shoot some drone footage. So that's going to be airing here shortly on YouTube. I edited the video a little bit. I'm not really editing the videos. I'm just kind of putting, because I'm constantly, while I'm flying that drone, I'm recording video, and then if I get a good shot of for a picture, I'll stop the video, take the picture, and then resume the video. So I just have to paste all those videos together, make it one long video, like an 18-minute long video. So oh Hey, there you are. So while I'm doing this live feed, I'm gonna use technology. I'm so passionate about voice first right now, just because so many people are not taking advantage of it, and I think it's gonna, once it goes mainstream, it's gonna be like, so that's why I'm so adamant about hitting up Alexa and Google Home. So I've started turning my home into a smart home. Here, give me a second. Oh, I forgot. Great. I know how that is. So Amazon, Google Assistant understands that you forget things. Let me give me a second real quick. Let me see if I can manage to bring up. All right, see if I can manage to source. A source.
Showing results for Astoria Vision Source.
See? So there it is. All right, here we go. So, and I was telling my son, I'm going to go off on another tangent. I was telling my son how this whole Google Home and Alexa is like, and turning our home into a smart home is kind of like a new thing right now, and it's kind of like you're playing around with different things, seeing what works, see what it actually can do. And it's like right now, it's like the new thing, and it's like, oh, like it's gonna take so to like little devices to be able to rewire, reprogram the wiring on the house. And what seems to be new right now, like 30 years from now, is going to be like every home is like that. It's like you're not going to be able to live with it without it. And so it's just super exciting. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, so going back to my tangent. So a couple years ago, I started investing in real estate. I invested so much. I really went into debt, and I really exhausted all my savings, and I just made so many wrong moves, so many wrong decisions. And but I what I did do is I invested a lot in a lot of leads that that were through the marketing. And even though I did a lot of wrong decisions, working here in my market, moving to the Ohio market, coming back down to my market, exhausted all of my resources, I was still able to hold on to those leads. So now I'm reactivating those leads and getting a hold of all my old leads. And instead of the people that I couldn't buy from, I'm now offering to list their property. So Mr. Andre is one of those leads, and I'm just so glad that I can help him, just because they seem to need the help to get rid of the property. They haven't been able to do so because they're not in the area, and so now I'm able to actually go back and help them out, and it's just such a great feeling to be able to do that after so much time. And so what I was thinking earlier today, as a matter of fact, I was kind of reminiscing. I was like, man, if I could reactivate all those leads and be able to turn them into, or convert them, then all that time that I spent 2 years ago, all that money, all those resources that I overspent, that I got in debt with, if I could recuperate at least my expenses, my investments, now that I have my license reactivated, it would be like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's like God works in mysterious ways, right? Like maybe my time wasn't 2 years ago, but now He's got everything planned out. Infinite intelligence, whatever you believe in, He's got it all planned out. And what may not have worked 2 years ago, maybe now it's your time. And you got to go in with it, knowing that there is a greater plan for you, a much bigger plan. And so while I was doing my running session today, I was also thinking of maybe succeeding at that time was not meant for me to give. I didn't have the right message to give at that time. That's why I went through what I've been through the past 2 years: the struggles, the pitfalls, all that stuff that kind of you see as life punching you in the face. And it's all meant for a bigger, greater purpose. And so, like, I'm super grateful to have experienced that now. It's kind of like that saying goes, like when people say something kind of weird or ridiculous happens, and like 10 years from now we're going to be laughing about this. And it's kind of like the same thing. Like all those storms, everything that you go through, it kind of seems like the end of the world at that time, but a year, 2 years from then is going to be like, you're going to be glad that you went through that, because you're going to be able to appreciate life and all that good stuff. So I had to go on that tangent. Okay, so yes, going back, rewind to yesterday's Isaac D. Rodriguez Parks, a great park. I did some film, and that's gonna be okay. So I edited that video, and that's gonna be posted as about an 18-minute video. So a little music, back music. So I'm gonna be airing that and showcasing it and all that good stuff. So that's kind of what I did. And then so a couple of days ago, I think it was on Wednesday, I went through so when I reactivated my license, I knew that one of the things that I wanted to do was be able to contribute beyond myself, to pay it forward. And I've been looking for, going back to my story 2 years ago, I've been looking for that one thing that I want to be able to use to help other people and to contribute beyond myself, because ultimately the greatest feeling, the secret to happiness in life is to be able to contribute beyond yourself. And so I was looking for that, and it just came into perfect alignment that I can volunteer my time in the local association of realtors, which is the Greater McAllen Association of Realtors committees, which are I joined the Young Professionals Network Education Committee and Membership Committee, and these were all by carefully analyzing and asking around suggestions and why it was why I should do each one of the committees, why choose either or, and so I've had some really tremendous help on making those decisions. And so I was at the membership committee on Wednesday. I missed the education committee, which was on the same day, by the way. Completely missed the time work. So, which goes to show that no matter how much you plan, there's always going to be a mess of it. Things are going to happen. It's just a matter of keeping your head high, taking it with a grain of salt, and keep pushing forward. And so when I was at that meeting, I met a real kind of like a legend in this area, man. Mr. Arriaga, Adrian Arriaga, with Sperry Commercial, and one of the only few CCIM designated agents here in the Greater McAllen Association of Realtors market. And one of the things he told me was, I was picking his brain. So if you know me, you know that, which goes, my kids, my grandkids listening 30, 40 years from now, the greatest thing that you can do is be able to ask and listen to those who have already paved the way for you, those who have already been there, those who have trying to experience what you're after. The greatest, the fastest and easiest way to have success is to find someone who has that success that you want. And I've couple in me that value for a very long time since I was growing up, because I've always had that thing that I can always relate more to older people. I can always get along better with older people for some reason. I've always had that since I was in school, and so I've been able to harness that much more recently. And so I make it a point of, if I come across somebody who has been there, who has paved the way, who has the knowledge and the experience, I tend to pick their brain and try to learn as much as possible from them. And I ask and I listen. And Mr. Arriaga asked, as I was picking his brain, one of the things that he told me was that one of the things that he was doing when he first started in real estate was that he would go out to HEB and hand out business cards in the front door, and he would not leave until he had handed out at least 10 business cards. And so I took that to heart, and I took it as a challenge. And so yesterday, in the middle of everything that I was doing, I was like, man, I was on the grind yesterday. I can honestly say I was on the grind yesterday. I took some time. I stopped by HEB, and coincidentally, when I handed out my first business card, my wife called me and told me she needed dog food. And so I used it as an excuse to stick around a little bit longer. And so I actually handed out those 10 business cards pretty quick. I kind of regret not taking more, just because I imagine how many more I could have handed out. So it's super awesome, super exhilarating. So a little bit about me is that I'm super introverted, but I know that I got to make things happen. I know that some things, regardless of how much fear I have, some things just have to be done. And so I put my foot down, and I go full force, man, on things that gotta get done. So that was one of the things, and it was super exhilarating.